Okay, what up? So we got a 2022 Hyundai Tucson. Customer complaint is that he's only obtaining the odd gears and park. No reverse, no even gears. So what we're going to do today, we're going to use the Launch X431 PRO3S, right? So this is the Elite version. So I'm going to do a diagnostic scan. All right, this is the Smart Link. I do have a video coming out in a bit considering this scan tool. So stay tuned, right? So we got 59,000 kilometers on the dash, and this customer said that he recently started to feel like a jerk, and of late the vehicle wasn't going into second gear. So he wasn't sure exactly what's going on and like a second opinion. All right, so I was able to diagnose this vehicle for him, and I made the call on the clutch actuator. Okay, so we're gonna do automatic search. Right, you're gonna press OK on the Smart Link. It just did its update, so you just gotta bear with me. So this is 1.6, this turbo GDI Gamma 2, right? This NX4. Press OK. Press OK. All right, good. So this is how the Smart Link look. This is a J box, right? So if I want to like do anything like programming online and offline, and also coding, I can use this J box, right? Similar to the, like, let's say the Launch. And also, you know, the other J box that's on the market. This is basically giving us the capability to do online and, you know, offline coding using like the OEM scan tool. So I'm definitely gonna do a video and show you how this bad boy works. But for now, we're just gonna see if we can scan this vehicle. I got the hood open, so that's why it's flashing. Right, the check engine light was on, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it is still loading. So let's take its time and let's, you know, take a look at this scan tool. As I mentioned before, is an X431 PRO3S plus Elite. This is an all-purpose scan tool, everything from EV to smart box. You know, if you want to do oscilloscope, you want to do installation testing, right, this scan tool does it all. Right, and I've been keeping my eye on it for a bit to see exactly how it compares to the other scan tools that I have in my arsenal and what's on the market. And so far, I really am impressed with the, you know, the features that they added onto the scan tool. Looking at the dash right now, we're gonna start the vehicle up, and you see we got the check engine light on. I don't want the vehicle to get warm, so I'm just gonna switch it off and put the ignition back on while we continue to see exactly what's happening with the scan tool. As I mentioned before, you're probably doing a update somewhere. So as a matter of fact, let's end this and let's go right back in. All right, so right now we're gonna see if the scan tool has the ability to do auto VIN. Right, that is where you connect the scan tool and it immediately reads the VIN and decodes it and pulls up the chassis with the correct VIN number. So let's see if that can be done using the scan tool. All right, so far so good. Success. All right, so 2022 Hyundai Tucson NX4 model. All right, let's press diagnostic. All right, it's communicating with the Smart Link, and let's go into automatic. Now, what I like about this scan tool more than anything else is it got a kickstand. I do like these scan tools that comes with a kickstand because I can prop it right here while I press and work, and I don't have to be, you know, holding the scan tool in my hand. I can actually do the video just taping it right here on the steering wheel, and that's it. I mean, you know, or I can just leave it right here. Alright, so in this scan tool we have something called the topology. We also still have the system link. We have the ADAS, calibration, coding, hidden functions, read password. But right now what you see here is called topology. Alright, most scan tool has that, while the more high-end ones, where the low-end ones don't have it, right? You gotta pay for that. So what you see here is, like, you can see the CAN network, and we can also do some neat things with this. But let's go first and let's do a smart scan. So this video is not about the scan tool. It's about me diagnosing this vehicle and repairing it for the customer. But I'm just showing you nice features that comes along with this scan tool. All right, and it's new. I haven't used it as yet. Oh, well, I've set it up, but I'm using it right now. And you see that we have a fault on the DTC, which is dual clutch for the transmission. The ECM doesn't have a fault because the vehicle runs perfectly well. I did diagnose this vehicle, right? let me let you know. Right, so I already know what the problem is. I'm just showing you how the scan tool is able to help me diagnose the vehicle, and also has special function like active test and stuff like that to ensure that I made the correct call. Again, it is a tool. You still gotta use your brain at the end of the day, right, to figure out exactly what's going on with the vehicle. You can't just guess because you see a code, right? This vehicle is fairly new, so I'm not expecting to see much problems with it, but clearly it does have some faults, right? Not new, but you know what I mean. It's just like you don't expect this at this particular time with this vehicle. All right, let's go into system list. So we got a P090B78 clutch B actuator control circuit performance, right, present. We also got a P060148 internal control module memory checksum error. Now it's saying history, right? Now, if I clear the code, does that reset the dual clutch? I don't think so. I believe we have a problem where the clutch is sticking and not allowing me to change gears, right, or shift. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go into dual clutch or double clutch transmission, right? That's the correct term using the Honda. I'm on Hyundai, sorry, not Honda. Okay, and let's look into actuation. So what we can do right here is we can do some tests using the scan tool to see exactly what the clutch is at, where the clutch is at, right? And we can also see if we could activate the actuator to see if we have, any kind of faults. So let's check the wear amount on the clutch. So what this is going to do is basically just do a rough check to see how much wear compensation value is still on the clutch, right? Which is basically like a manual clutch. This is in between manual and transmission, right? So let's make sure all is well. So we at 52.779%. So this is just a rough check that is being done by the transmission, and I think we still have a lot of life here, so we don't have much wear. Next, we can do a actuation test, and we can check to see exactly if the odd clutch or the even clutch is engaging or opening. So let's go into the odd, right? I'm going to look for odd. Let's see, engage odd clutch. All right, let's press start. So by me pressing start, I'll hear things moving within the engine bay. If it fails, then we have a fault. All right, let's press stop here. So we're gonna come out of there, back out. We're gonna do the same thing to the even where we have the fault, and I'm expecting this to fail as well. Let's press start. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. No activating. It failed as well. But look at this trick, right? So what you gotta do, you gotta come out, all the way out. You gotta clear the fault codes. Right? Yes, I should have saved the fault codes. I did save it earlier, so I don't need to do it again. Right? So I gotta clear all the fault code, and I'm gonna go right back to the special function, not just function. I'm gonna go right back to actuation test and do the even. And let's see if this fail or pass. Success. So it did pass. Let's come back out. Press OK. Let's stop. Matter of fact. So you just gotta follow what it's saying, right? Mind you, we don't have any fault on the system because I was able to clear the fault code. Nothing. So we're gonna come back out. and we're going to go into actuation test again, and we're going to do it to the odd side now, or the even side. Let's press. So if this failed, that means that we definitely have a fault on the even side. See, there you have it. We failed. So if you're going to stop this, and we're going to go back out, and we're going to go right back out and read the fault code, I expect to see that problem comes right back. Let's see again. Let's go back into the even, and let's see what happens. Success. So the odd side is working and the even side is not. So we gotta, talk to this customer and see exactly what he would like to do and take it from there. All right. I don't believe it's the one for the 10 gauge transmission. This is the dual clutch, basically the one to the front that's acting up. Okay, we could do a reference position check. Let's do that. Let's start. Fail. Why did it fail? Because we have a fault on the system. The gear actuator, which is the one on top, right? That's the one that lets you move from park to drive and stuff like that. That's a success. That's this one. Okay, so this one is good, but the one in front, which is the clutch actuator, he has a fault. Let's go right back out. So while I'm activating these things, I'm also hearing things moving in front, right? So we don't have any faults still, and check engine light is off. So let's go under the hood and let me show you exactly what part I plan on replacing once I discuss it with the customer. As I mentioned, this is the GDI Tucson, right? And the clutch actuator is in the front under this air box. So I gotta remove that, remove the little ducting and get access to it, right? So let me put this hood up and let me show you exactly what I'm referring to. Okay, so this is the part that we're gonna replace, which is the clutch actuator right here. Right, so it's brand new. This is a Kia / Hyundai part, right? That's the part number, and basically this is what we have to replace on this vehicle, minus the motors in the back here. You have two motors that's being in the back here, basically for to drive the actuator back and forth, right? Is 3-phase motors. Here we have the actuator for the transmission. So I'm going to remove all the parts and get access to it. So we gotta raise the vehicle up so I could drop the shield and get this actuator out. So let me just get that done, right? So this is the 2nd gen type. The 1st gen has 2 DC motors, not DC motors, but 3-phase motors to the rear, and this one is made up differently. So we gotta take this off. So we got the harness out, we got some bolts out, we took the ground off. So let's get on the vehicle and let's remove this part and let's see what's going on. I already removed all the bolts on top, so I just got the ones underneath to remove. Okay, so you're getting a better look at the actuator right here, right? So this is supposed to be the even side, and that next side is supposed to be the odd side on top. All right, let me just answer the phone because it's ringing. Okay, so I'm back. Pardon me with the compressor in the back, but as I said, I'm gonna remove these 2 bolts right here. Put the special tool. Gotta put some pressure on this fork, and I'm gonna get this out, and yeah, we should be able to do our thing from there and install it. So we got the new actuator and the old one. I just did some measurements on this one to basically transfer it to this one. So let's pop the motor off and let's transfer all the parts from this one to this one. Okay, you have some O-rings behind here. You gotta also replace them as well. And let's put this bad boy back up. So some may ask, how come a 2022 vehicle giving all this trouble already? I can't really answer it, but what I'm looking at here, this bearing piece right here, that is on the even side, and the motor has to like basically turn it in order to get the actuator to do anything linear, so you can move the even gears. And it seemed like it just broke off, right? So we're gonna put it together and put this back on the vehicle and send it to the customer. I was able to put the actuator on, and now let's see if we can get it relearned. Okay, if you can recall, I did remove the fault code earlier because I needed to do some checks. So I'm going to go back in and let's scan the vehicle and see exactly what's going on, right? So we gotta basically relearn the system. All right, we have a battery discharging warning sign. Do I have to put a maintain on this? What is my batteries looking like? 12 volts. I'm good. Right, it was raining earlier, so I had to stop, as you can tell. Right, so just go right back into all that good stuff. Fellas, this Launch, right, is definitely superb. Is, you know, we have a lot of features, so we're going to go in and we're going to see if it have ability to do the relearn in the double clutch transmission. Let's see. Don't let me down. Right, let's do read fault codes. We have no fault codes. All right, let's come out and let's do special function. All right, so we gotta do a DCT learning. Okay, so let's read. This function should be carried out when replacing TCU or clutch pack. Must perform in both ignition on idle sequentially, engine oil, brake, no DGT, may take up to 30 seconds. All right, so basically the double clutch transmission learning process is available only one time after ignition on. If you want to perform this function again, please take ignition off and on.
Hold on, yeah, you know me. Late night, all night, don't need no sleep. Hey, hold on.
All right, so let's see exactly what's going on. So the learning during the ignition on has been completed. Please check operation condition and press OK. Engine idle, vehicle is stationary, brake on, park, engine around 600 RPM, may take up to. Okay, so we gotta start the vehicle up. All right, and we gotta be around 600 RPM. Right now the vehicle is really cold, so that's why it's somewhat high. It's dropping right now. Okay, so let's go into press OK. It's kind of hot. So I put the AC on. Let's put the AC on. Let's check. Engine have to stop. Hold on. Let's put ignition back on. Let's press OK. It's still at 52, right? Press OK. Gonna come out. Let's read fault codes. We have no fault codes. Okay, let's come out. Let's go back this way. And what I'm gonna do is let's go back into the odd clutch and even. And let's see if it's a success. If you can recall, when I did the odd, it was successful once the code is off. Once the code came back, it was failing. And basically it was failing on the second as well. So let's press OK. All right, success. Let's stop this and let's come back out. And let's go into the even clutch. Success as well. If you can recall, we was getting nothing. It was failing every time. So let's stop this. Let's go back. And let's see if we can do reference position check. Successful. So every time I did this using the scan tool, I was failing. So let's try even gear, because if you can recall, the even gear and also reverse was having problem. Successful. stop this. Let's go back and let's go into reverse, because we had no reverse as well. Successful as well. So before, we was getting no movements on the even gear, only on the odd. Successful again. Let's stop. You need to stop it first, because it's going to try to move it, and then you go back out. So what we're going to do is, let's go right back out, and I'm going to do a smart scan. So I'm going to do a full scan and check the complete system, save the report so I can send it to the customer. Right, we had a P0907B8, something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head. Right, we had a failure on the B clutch circuit performance. I believe what was happening, probably the actuator itself, the clutch actuator was stuck, and right now we have no faults. Okay, so we're gonna, after, when we have a good bill of health, I'm going to start the vehicle up and let's see if we have reverse. Right, I'm not sure if we have any other relearn to do, so I'm gonna go out and see if we have anything on the service side where we have to do a relearn. I did not replace the clutch. All I did was replace the actuator, the gear, not the gear actuator, the clutch actuator, which is the one in the front. The gear actuator is the one on the top. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, I really like this topology that this scan tool comes with. You see the dual clutch have nothing. So while it's scanning, you can't go in. So we can also check the CAN bus pin detection. So right now at hot at all time, we got 12 volts at pin 16, and at pin 14 and 6 we got 2.6 and 2.4. So this is another feature as well that the scan tool have, where you can determine what exactly, like a quick look. You like to see what voltage you gain on these pin, right? If it have K-line, and if it have if the CAN network is up. If you, like, let's say I plug in my scan tool and I'm seeing some weird voltages here and adding up to 5 volts, that let me know that I have a fault on the bus somewhere. It doesn't tell me where, but just a quick glance to see what voltage I'm getting right here, which is, a real cool little feature. And let's see, do we have any coding to do? No, we don't, because I didn't interfere with, I didn't touch anything when it comes to cameras and stuff like that. Let's go in this one, and let's see if we have anything with the, nope, we don't. Okay, so right now I have a good bill of health on the dual clutch. Let's go into the dual clutch, and let's see what features we have on the dual clutch as well that can help us, see exactly what's going on. I'm going to read fault code. I have none. Come out. Let's go into special function. Well, we have nothing there. And let's go into read data stream. Okay, so I can tell, using data and see exactly what's happening, where I can determine what direction to go at, if there's a gearbox, if a gear shifter issue, or if we have a solenoid, a clutch actuator problem, using the data. But right now I was able to determine what it is using the, the basically active. Right, so let's see, we can start the vehicle up. That's what we can do. And let's see if we get reverse. Okay, we don't have no check engine light on. Got the scan tool still hooked on. Let's go into reverse. So right now we're in reverse. The reverse camera is on. And let's see if I'm getting reverse. Yes, I am. Okay, let's go into D1. Alright, let's go back to reverse. Before, we wasn't getting no reverse at all. Basically, myself and the client had to push the vehicle. So, yep. I still got to put the vehicle back together, but I believe I'm gonna call this a fix. So look again, reverse, drive. Gotta definitely take it for a test run and ensure that everything is working before we hand this vehicle back to the customer. So I'm going to put my seatbelt on because most likely it's going to make noise, and we're expecting to see D2, D3, D4, all that good stuff. While we're driving, you just saw I was able to go into reverse. Alright, so right now we're at D1, and there you have it. He was able to switch to D2. But I like to close this up and let's take a little test run while we driving. Alright, so we have D2, D3, D4. Let's stop on the brake. Okay, and let's reverse. And there you have it, we are reversing. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is call this a fix. I got some things just to, put on still, like the shield and the bolts, right? But you definitely made the right call on this vehicle, and I know the customer is definitely going to be happy that he's able to drive this vehicle again. Alright, so if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down in the box. Any questions, you know how it is. Leave it down in the comments, right? Hit that bell notification for more videos by your boy, DJ Mobile Auto Services. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And other than that, stay up.